So anyway, I mean, I love the Samsung Notebook 9s. I'm not crazy about how quickly they died, but
We're just dead pretty quick.
oh, I mean, it couldn't. It was in literally. I realized later it did touch the water, but it was maybe a half an inch of water on the corner of it.
Huh.
So like it, but unfortunately, on the corner by where the power supply is.
Ah.
So all right, flex. But and we're also on. I don't know if it's changed anything on your end, but we're also on upgraded internet because for Kelly's job, we needed to go to 200 megabit internet.
Oh wow. No, it's pretty much it's still looking the same on my. It was always pretty good though on my end.
So what's the address?
118, 120 Nichols Street. So that probably will come up as 118. I'm thinking. Yep, that's it right there.
All right. Right, because I remember now because we looked at the pictures to see. Well, obviously this is 2012, so whatever. It's a cute house. Reminds me a lot of what I saw in Luzerne County tax sale years ago in Avoca. Same, except this one, the Avoca one was not built in a hill, but it basically looks the same as that, exactly the same as
Mhm.
that house.
Hey, the interesting thing about this place, it looks like you're going to go right off the hill, but you're really not. It's actually the deck that kind of goes up and over the back of the hill, the place is on pretty solid ground. It's once you get past the back deck, that's when it like falls off. So it's actually
Okay.
not like built on stilts or anything like that. It's actually like on the ground, which is good.
So someone put it under contract. This is back in 2012. A couple times.
Hmm.
Up in this six-figure range. So I got to believe in terms of a comp, we're talking 100 plus.
Right.
But anyway, as far as how to do comp, so what you do is you check box and you yellow. Now, let me just oh, you check box and yellow. I'll do the long way later. I don't want to confuse it right now. And that'll make the star.
Okay.
Now the star comes not from the checkbox, but the star comes from the yellow. Basically, if you had a list of properties over here, the one that's yellow is the one that's the star.
Okay. Gotcha.
And so, if and meaning the one you've selected, yellow means selected. So you'd have a list of them, but only one of them would be in yellow. And so then you pick whatever your zoom radius is, and I don't know Clark Summit that well, so I'm going to err on the side of smaller rather than bigger. I'm only going to take like a 8 or 10 block radius. I don't know if it changes when you cross 11, so I'm
Mhm.
just staying on this side of 11.
Okay.
Obviously the more you know about a town, the more you can whatever. And then you take out, because we selected a specific property to get here, we take out that property. So we're living only on the polygon.
Okay.
Then multifamily, that's our property type. Board of realtors, yeah, you can do, I always like to do all the boards of realtors in case somebody from Pocono board listed a property, whatever. But the one that really matters is status. Because you only want things that are pending, contingent, or closed.
Mm-hmm.
You only want to know what actually sold. You don't care what somebody's asking for. You don't care what withdrew. Now, what I should have done is because since we don't know what it is, we're looking at bedrooms and square footage wise.
Mm-hmm.
So it's saying 2 units, one building. Woohoo! What a surprise! 1,400 square feet. Not horrible size. Okay, 2 bedrooms each. 2 bedroom, 1 bath. So when we're looking at our comparables, we're looking for 2 bedrooms, 1 bath.
Mm-hmm.
Now, unfortunately, being the MLS that doesn't like multifamilies, it's very hard to track that down. But the first thing we'll do is we will simply say, okay, what's in the neighborhood? And I just like to sort by descending price. Well, obviously, we're not a $300,000 property, so we're just going to come down from that. We know from the last listing that it expired at $134,000.
Mm-hmm.
So in 2012. So probably, we're going to have to be in the one somethings to see what, and now around here, I start looking at the pictures. Okay, we're not in the 19s. Now, it's interesting how quickly you go, 132,000. All right, that's not a horrible one. Let's look at the details. How many units are we looking at? We're looking at
This is where I prefer the Luzerne County better.
yeah. Actually, a little bit unsure that we're even looking at multifamily at this point. Nope, we're not. Not sure how that changed, but okay. Are you kidding? There's only one multifamily?
On the Nichols Road, there looked like there was quite a bit of like townhouses and other duplexes past it, like on Nichols.
Yeah.
Because I accidentally passed it out, and I'm looking at it. It's like, wow, it looks like a lot of multifamilies on this particular road.
I mean, all MLS is multifamily within the polygon of pending contingent close. And this will happen, and sometimes you'll research it and it'll be different. This will happen, and sometimes there simply won't be other ones. Okay, there's 3. I still don't believe that, but all MLS is multifamily. Oh, well, okay, you know what? Before I do that, let's go go back 2 years just for under contract date or actual close date. There, now we have 21.
Mm-hmm.
Now, technically, 2 years back is irrelevant, but
right.
You either make now that we have 21, that's almost too many. So now what I would do is I would go the other way, and I'd get rid of the bigger polygon. Brings me back to 12. That's a little bit. So now at least I'm too far in years, but I'm not too far in distance.
Mm-hmm.
Or I could have pulled the years forward and stayed with the distance. Either way.
Gotcha.
You sort of you not either way. Actually, technically, it's both ways. You do it both ways and see which one comes up with the more reasonable choice. And again, we get rid of all the stuff that's in crazy numbers, and we say, okay, well, that kind of looks like it. A little bit, maybe.
You can see 2 units on this one.
This was a 3 unit, so a 1, 1, and a 2. So I would almost count that as about the same because you got a pair of 1s.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm like, all right, 100,000. It's all I have that looks kind of similar. Now I go back to edit search, and I would throw in the bigger polygon and the lesser years and see what I get. Just to see, just keep in mind, we're not evaluating it as a multi-unit. Which we will in a second, but we're evaluating it as a property. What is it? What are its comps? So we get rid of the little polygon. Now we're back to 21. And let's just, let's try for a year back and see. 3, not enough. And obviously I could do less than 2 years. I'm just being lazy.
Okay.
8. All right, 8. Let's see what 8 gives me. That's not horribly different,
right,
than what we have. You know, 84. Okay, so somewhere in that $100,000 ish range seems to be a safe number, 80 to 100.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so we said fine. So which kind of backs up what we did on the whiteboard. Now we look at the numbers they gave back in 2012. It netted 10,000. It's showing move-in condition, some replacement windows. It's showing a $10,000 net income, which shockingly enough was actually what we came up with.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of totally by luck. Operating expenses of 5,500, most of which is taxes. So whoever this agent was filled in. Yeah, Diane's pretty good. She filled in the numbers correctly because that 5,500, 4,000 in taxes. So there probably are no utility expenses, or at least none that she was aware of. But first floor is vacant, so maybe the utilities aren't separate. We still don't know about the utilities. He's not being clear. Interesting. She says first floor is vacant because when I look at the pictures, first floor, I'm seeing it as a side by side, unless maybe one of these just leads to a staircase.
Yeah, on the one on the left, if you go around the side, there's like a deck that goes around in the back on the left-hand side.
Okay, yeah.
I actually have like a video. I took like a little video with me.
I mean, certainly none of this is unlivable, even if it's a degraded version of this.
Mm-hmm.
And don't know what the yard is like or whatever, but if your family grew, it looks like you could certainly combine this into a single if you decided to.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I think everything is pointing toward and saying, okay, we came to around $100,000 in 80 to 100 in whiteboard income value. Oh, it didn't save it. Okay. We came to around 80 to 100 in MLS value. So okay, that's it. That's the value, 80 to 100. And so that's kind of how. But this is how you do it. You pick your property. Now let's just say, just to show real quick what I meant by I was going to do a quick full search to show you what I mean by certain things, making things yellow and so forth.
Okay.
So there's everything in the MLS. Don't care. View results. So whichever one is yellow.
Oh, I see. Like that middle one. That'll be the.
This one here is the star. Then I pick this one as the star, and the star moves. I pick that one, and the star moves. I pick that one, and whatever, and the star moves. So whichever one is made yellow is the star.
Mm-hmm.
I also like to checkbox them because that puts it as a selected. It just makes it harder to find, or harder to lose, rather. So anyway, so that's pretty much how